again, everybody. Welcome to the Cornell campus. We are driving around, looking around for our hawks. No sign of anyone yet. The sun is coming out. The skies are getting a little clearer. And while that may seem good, and in a way it is, could be a problem for me if the sun is in my eyes and we're looking for hawks. So we'll see how things go. Ahead of us, she seems to be taking a picture of something, but maybe it was just the building rather than anybody we know. Anyway, looking at Sage Hall, I don't see anybody. There's a chance I saw an osprey on my drive back. I wasn't sure. I didn't get a good look at it. But I think I saw an osprey. If it was an osprey, it's the first one I've seen in a while, and one that should be going. Can't stay around here for the winter. Anyway, that's if it was an osprey. Might be obvious just going through that area where we just went through why I don't like to go through there, and just because of traffic. It's a congested area in the first place, and there's a lot of vehicular and pedestrian traffic there, so it's not easy. Go in here. Okay. Must be a game today or something. But the lot is closed to us, at least for the time being. Might see somebody on top of one of the stacks, maybe. Yes, I think somebody's up there. I don't know if we'll be able to see it from I say the stacks, the smokestacks at the central heating plant. I think there's somebody up there. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, whoever it is, from here or not, because of just where on the smokestack it is. We'll give it a try. Okay, from here, if I was correct, I can't see anybody, so I think we may have to go around to the other side of the plant. Again, I'm assuming, that's assuming I was correct. I didn't get a good look up there. Just because of traffic, we have to keep moving. Like last week, we're obviously here before going to Sapsucker, and you know, I have to be very mindful of the time. And once we go to Sapsucker, I will have to dress appropriately. Not that it's 30 below zero, but it's not really warm out, and if it's going to be breezy, it can feel rather cold. I have to say, when we were up on the tower at Shockey Pool, my hands were getting cold after a bit. We have to pull over here because I see a hawk. Hold on one second. It's probably nobody we know, but we're going to take a quick look. Maybe. I want to go see. Is there somebody else? No. I want to go see if there's anyone on the heating plant. So we're gonna keep moving. I think there is someone on the heating plant, and we might be able to, I may be wrong, but we might be able to see it from this side. Now, if you are somebody, stay up there for a minute, would you? I might be wrong. It might not be anything. It may be just part of the structure. Oh, you know what? I think it's part of the structure. Sorry. Seeing that sort of thing before. Maybe it's not new, but I don't remember seeing it before. Oh well. I thought I had seen something at the very top of one of the stacks, and as it turns out, it's just, you know, part of it. I'm used to seeing the top of each stack look from a distance. Oh, I do see something though. Somebody was just flying there. I better look with binoculars. I need a better look than this. Hold on one second. I don't know if... I don't see anybody at the moment. So it may have dropped below that structure there. No, I don't see anybody. It looked like a hawk in the air for a moment. I don't see anybody now. I know, you're thinking I made it all up. Not sure I could blame you. I see a Merlin. We're going to take a look at the Merlin. At least I think it's a Merlin. One second. There you go. So this is a Merlin, it's a small falcon. Not as small as an American kestrel, but nearly as small. And, you know, I have to say, it seems like overall in my life I'm seeing more of them than I used to. Now, maybe I'm just on the lookout for them. But I'm seeing them, I guess, in my travels, so maybe it has nothing to do with how many there are, but just where my travels are taking me. We won't stay on it very long. And I'm going to have a hard time trying to even catch it. I wonder if that's what I saw in the air back at the central heating plant. That's possible. That's what I saw. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to continue. Let me switch cameras. It's very possible that, oh, a lot of gulls, I think, all of a sudden in the air. Looks like snow flurries. time staying with them because of just things in our way. Kind of neat to see. Okay, let's continue the search. So I'm wondering if maybe I had seen the Merlin flying near that because it, you know, I saw something in flight. Oh, okay, I don't know if this is one I hadn't seen. This may be the one we saw on that other pole, but here's a red-tailed hawk, and I have a feeling again it's one we don't know. Hey, baby. It may be the one that I had seen. Hold on, let me check with binoculars. I suspect it's the same one that I had seen and shown you very briefly earlier. Because that other pole, I believe I can see the pole is vacant, so. Cute. Let's continue. I'm gonna have to wait for a car. That hawk looked like the same hawk, and I'm pretty sure that pole is now vacant, so it's most likely the same one. Yes. That's going to make things less convenient. A road closure. I don't see anybody up on the vet school. It's not from there. See anybody? Pigeon? I think it's a pigeon. That's good. Saw something on one of these little, on one of the stacks on a building, smokestack, and I should have known it was too small to be a red-tailed hawk. It looks like a starling. Okay, never mind. that I expect to see anybody on any of the Bradfield perches, but I'm checking them anyway. Driven through this area before, but we're gonna drive in again. You never know. Last week, where we last saw, or I last saw, I don't recall pointing the camera at her, but where we last saw Big Red, she was on Goldwyn Smith Hall, which is, well, to our left. The other side of, you know, Clark Hall and across the road, actually. We just passed Clark Hall a moment ago. And we'll be coming back around along Clark Hall again in a moment. I see somebody. Don't know if it's a hawk. Could be a peregrine falcon. Quick look. It's a hawk. Okay. Switch cameras. Looks like Arthur, I believe. Maybe wrong. You can look while I deal with my tangled wires here. Hey, baby. Oh. Looked like something startled him. Just as I was zooming in a little bit, something startled him. It wasn't me. But it is good to see him. Thank you very much. There's a red-tailed hawk up there. They don't care. That's okay. Oh. Okay, Arthur just took off. And I don't know where he went, but he may have gone. I'm not sure where he went. He may have gone to the to Space Sciences. I'm going to leave everything in place, I guess. I don't know who's making that noise. It's a chip note. Sounds a little bit too high for a cardinal chip note. But I may be wrong. Anyway, oh, I think I see him. We won't stay here long because he's not looking at us. I'm not in a really a good parking spot, to be honest with you. And this is not the greatest of looks, but it's still nice to see him. There's a red-tailed hawk up there. If you're wondering, there's a hawk on the top of the building. Okay, we're gonna continue on because it's getting kind of late. Let me switch cameras. Bye, Arthur. Good to see you. He's a good boy. terms of birds, the campus is very quiet this time of year, so you know it's almost not worth opening the windows. I mean, unless you see something. But in terms of listening, you know, it's not so likely that you get a look anymore, or you get a clue from sound. Doesn't mean it never happens, but it's just less likely. I'll open the windows just for a bit. I hear a red-bellied woodpecker and a blue jay. There's always a possibility that big red's around in one of these trees. And we know we saw Arthur not too far away from here not too long ago. I see somebody on Sage Hall. Don't know who it is. Come on, people. Don't you know there are hawks? No hurry. As I've said to you before, when I'm in a road, my main mission is to get out of the road. Always has been. Safely. I don't know if that's big red that we have two hawks up there. There are two hawks up there, and we're gonna have to pull in here in front of this person. Sorry, man. This may not be the best spot. The angle is gonna be tough. First with this camera very quickly. It's tough enough with this one. I wonder if I should continue on and go closer to the yeah, I might have to do that and go closer to the bookstore, just because of the angle. I don't know if I can think one of them's going to take off. Hold on, I can't really hold things steady because you didn't miss anything. I was just moving the car. Anyway, we have two hawks up there, and actually, I mean, where I was before, I could hardly hold the camera there, but now, as it turns out, we still have two hawks. You can see the tail of the. I'm not recording. You can see the tail of the second one, but you can't see. And it looks, if I had to guess, it looks like Big Red must be on the left. Because that looks like Arthur there on the right. Hello, young man. So he must have flown over there from the Space Sciences building. I just checked the chat room, and I see the comment about red-tailed hawks being considered loners. I was thinking about that earlier today, actually, and quite honestly, I don't know where we got the idea that the general thinking is that they're loners. And someone must have said that somewhere along the line, maybe early on in the earlier years, but I find it hard to believe, and the reason why is because, even without this, you see red-tailed hawks, or I see red-tailed hawks enough that, I wouldn't think of them as loners. You're only seeing one except during the breeding seasons. And what had happened earlier today when I was driving, and the thought that came across my mind was last Thanksgiving Day. After ending the broadcast on Thanksgiving Day, I, on my own, did some recon. I did a reconnaissance trip to Myers Point. It's the first time I had ever been there. And I think we're gonna move the car. And anyway, after I was done there, shortly after, as I was heading home, I saw two hawks together on a just a low power pole right near the road. And that's not conclusive for the whole world, but the point is, okay, we're going to move the car. The point is, I have to imagine that too many people have seen too many, or have experienced too many instances of, multiple red-tailed hawks over the years. So it's not like we've just discovered something ourselves during all of this, or while watching, Big Red and back then Ezra. I just can't imagine that, that's the thinking. Alright, we're going to take one more look, and then I think we're going to head to... This will be the best angle yet. Although it's not great either. Oops. Hi, babies. So that's Big Red on the right and Arthur on the left. Good to see them both. Now, we looked here earlier. Where was Big Red? She wasn't here. But anyway, like I said, it's very good to see them both. Look at how cute. Let's try to get a little bit closer to them, and then we're going to head to Sapsucker Woods. Arthur is doing some preening. Big Red is just looking around. But, you know, one thing we have learned, at least for these hawks, Big Red certainly, and, you know, Ezra before Arthur and now Arthur, is just, you know, the places they go, you know, other than, you know, at all times of the year, but especially during the off season, you know. That's what's been so great about this. You know, instead of just seeing them for, let's say, you know, starting in March and then pretty much ending in June, we see the various places they go year-round, and it's just been great. So it's almost 6 o'clock, so it's time for us to get going, and I think we're going to do just that. It's time for us to head to Sapsucker Woods. Good night, Arthur. Good night, Big Red. Good to see you. We don't have much time. The day will be dark soon. So we gotta get going, and I need to do some things once we arrive at Sapsucker. So good to see both of those hawks, though. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I hate to leave Big Red and Arthur, but they're just hanging out. Given where they are, I mean, it wasn't easy to see them at all. And even if I were on foot, I don't think it would be all that easy to see them, just because of, I mean, they're facing generally away, but they're not on the edge of, you know, the structure. They're not on the edge that is would work out best for us to see them. It's almost like they were on a roof, but standing back a couple feet so that the structure itself gets in the way. But, you know, going back to what I was saying, you know, it's just neat to be able to follow them all year round. And obviously, you know, I'm not here every day, but if you think about it, I mean, like that first year, we would see them at the nest and maybe near the nest. But, you know, questions like, you know, where would they hunt? Where would they do this? Where would they do that? Where would they get sticks for the nest? Where would they get bark as necessary? All that, you know, we had no idea. I don't follow every single, you know, Nest camera or streaming camera, I should say, really, because they're not all at Nest, that Cornell or anybody else has. And I'm sure there are many live streaming cameras these days, and you know, that's wonderful. I wonder how many have the support of people on the ground also, you know, watching the whatever is being watched. If I had to guess, probably not many. Arthur. That was different. Certainly you could watch the nest from the Nest camera. I don't know, for instance, if the adults would spend all their time at sapsucker during, you know, during nesting seasons. I really don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. I mean, if there are other bodies of water around, I certainly didn't go to them, you know, following the herons. So I don't know. What I regret is, you know, because there's no nest there now, and I have, you know, better gear than I used to have. It would have been nice to be able to use this gear with an active nest there. The same holds true for that bald eagle nest at Mud Lock up at Montezuma. The tour never saw that nest where it used to be, you know, pretty close. And I didn't have the gear back then to get as close as I could these days. We've gone to Mud Lock. We haven't gone all year, partly because the signal's always so bad there. Maybe we should try going there again one of these days just to see. But anyway, you know, I don't know if that nest, we were watching it, but it was much farther away. And I thought I had heard that it too had been lost because of a branch breaking or something like that. And that they had to move even farther back. But maybe the person that told me that was actually referring to that nest. I really don't know. But anyway, it would have been great to have a good look into the nest that was actually on a some kind of a, you know, man-made tower. to do. I don't know if I'm even going to bother to carry the other camera. I don't think I will. That I would like to get a better look at, but I don't want to take the time to set it up because we don't have much time, and I don't want to be slowed down by carrying like the other tripod that I used last week. Not that it was that bad, but it was just, you know, one more thing to deal with. And we're running, like I said, we're running out of time. I do have to bundle up a little bit, I think. Take a few moments to do that. At least I don't have to put on bug spray. I don't think there are going to be too many mosquitoes around, although I could be wrong. See a couple starlings. I could pull over, but there's a, you know, and slow down. We don't have much time anyway, so.